Mr. Kelleher, this is Hal Jacobs, PGA professional at Worcester Country Club, just reviewing our golf lesson on July 12th, 2011. And just a couple things. I'm just going to draw some lines. I don't know if anybody's ever done this for you. Whoops, wrong one. Basically, I'll explain the lines as I draw them. The first one is just to see if the back of your golf swing stays up on that line, which all good players tend to do. This angled line here obviously is the swing plane. I've got a spine angle I'm drawing right now, and then we've got some lines to see if your head moves at all. And we're going to take a look. I thought of two players that came to mind when watching you swing, and one would be Mark O'Meara, and the other one would be Peter Lonard. So I'll show you a kind of comparison. Remember, we talked a little bit about taking the club back more on plane, so you could see right here the golf club's outside of the plane. And I want you to take a look and see what the club looks like. With this red line, I'll draw it right on the edge of right on the edge there, so you can see what that looks like. Let me bring up Peter Lonard, and just going to draw a couple lines here. So as the club comes back, he also takes it outside a little bit. So, but the key thing that he does, even though he's taking it outside, this is what the club face looks like. So you can see the difference. Your club face is pretty much straight up and down, and his club face is kind of at this angle, which is perpendicular to his target line. So this club face is going to be much squarer by the time that he gets to impact. You know, he takes it up to the top, and we'll take yours up to the top a little bit. So you can see at the top of the golf swing where his face is pointed versus yours. His face is pointed a little more towards the sky, and yours is pointed probably, you know, directly to the right of where you're aiming. And then as you start to come down, I think the outside move is trying to compensate for how close the club face is. So you can see how outside the line you are, and you're coming across it. But you never really turn the club face over, so you can see the face there, and it never really shuts down. If I go over here to Peter Lonard, and he's going to drop the club, you know, he's a little bit tiny over the top too, but watch what happens when the club comes out. See what the club face looks like. Hopefully you could see this, and I'll try and draw it. His club face looks like that, and your club face looks like that. So his club face is turned over, yours hasn't. And there's a couple things that I want to mention. So if we take a look at your, kind of erase all these lines here, look at your setup. Remember we talked about the ball position being a little bit too far forward in your stance, and that's going to open your shoulders, which is going to promote that outside in swing. So here you are, here's a 6-iron, and you can see how far up in your stance the ball position is. If I take a look at Mark O'Meara, and we look at him hitting a 6-iron, you can just see where his ball position is. It's just way farther back. It's going to allow him to square up his shoulders at address. And a couple of interesting things here. You know, we put you on the swing plane, which is this thing right here, and I'm going to bring this back up. So obviously I don't need to draw the swing plane line because it's there, but this is your original swing, and you see what the club face looks like right about here. See how the toes pointing up, and we take a look, and this is after working for a little while, and you see what the club face looks like. So way different from what you're used to. And I'm sure it's going to be very strange. But the two things that I saw in your golf swing, I'll repeat it. Number one, I think you took, actually there were three things, but we worked on two of them. I think you took the club a little bit outside on the takeaway, and the face was too open. And that's going to promote a lot of outside in swings. Now, I think that your hips are not as active on the downswing as they possibly could be. but I think you need to work on getting the club face a little more what you feel like is closed and a little more inside on the takeaway, and that's going to make a much better result. You're going to feel like you're hitting it solid, and then we could later on work on a little more hip movement. But I think the distance that you're looking for is going to be based on whether you hit it solid or not, and you're going to hit it more solid by getting just a tiny bit more inside on your takeaway and closing the face. So if you have any questions, feel free to stop by or email or call me. Have a great practice session, and let me know how it's going.